Hello and welcome to the Hull Seahawks Behind the Curtain, episode 52. We did promise we'd get some out quickly across the summer, and we're very excited to have one of the latest signings for the Hull Seahawks, Tommy Spraggon, joining us today. Thank you very much, Tommy. First time on the pod.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be on.
I say, Matty, Tommy's someone that the club and the fans will have got to know a little bit over the past 6 months or so, but I'm going to throw it over to you first. How exciting is it to have this guy joining us full time?
Yeah, I think it was the first one of the summer that I needed to get done first. Yeah, I mean Tommy came in and from literally the first training session, I think it was pretty clear that it was he first thing he needed to be at this level. I think he's obviously had some really good times in Billingham, and they've done a great job with his progression and where his game's at now. But yeah, I mean, look, I think he came in and played for us, and there was times he was standout D man for us, and his skating and the way he moved the puck was really elite. And like I say, I think for me it was one that I needed to get done first. I obviously speaking to Tommy through the season, and yeah, we'd have loved to have him more last year, but respect Billingham and what what he's done there. They had a great season and unbelievable achievement from them as well. So really, really happy to have Tommy. 2 years, I think it's going to be a massive 2 years for him. I think we're going to see a player really come on and really find his game and become a real elite player in this league.
Tommy, before we go on to talk about your game and times at Billingham, just to follow on from what Matty said there, sort of speaking to you throughout the season, and one of the first he wanted to get over the line for the summer. Sort of from your side of things, how excited and sort of how early on did you know that you wanted to commit to first of all NIHL for the next season, and that you wanted it to be here in Hull?
Sorry, it broke up there, but yeah, definitely. It was great to speak to Matty throughout the season, and from the get go, he sort of expressed that he was keen on me, and that meant a lot to me, and I really wanted to come back. I only played 10 games this season, but I was a bit devastated I couldn't play for them in the playoffs, and it was frustrating not to be there and help the lads out. I was kept checking on Twitter after the games to see how they got on during the playoffs and that. But yeah, I'm really glad to be back, and can't wait to get going next season.
Obviously, you mentioned obviously great to have Matty's backing, but you could see it on the fans forum. You could hear it walking around the arena most nights. A lot of the questions were, "Is Tommy here tonight?" That sort of thing. And did you really feel that the fans were sort of behind it from day one?
Yeah, definitely. I think they're very keen down in Hull, and that's what you like to see in British hockey. And yeah, it was great to see comments about people asking where I am, and wanting me back for next season, and definitely gives you a boost personally and makes you want to be back more to Hull in the first place.
Obviously, you spent pretty much your whole career over a few spells at Leeds, and of course with us last year. At Billingham, all the way through their junior system, and everyone knows it's a great junior system. There's so many players at this level who've come through the Billingham sort of junior system and then through the Stars, and and that has progressed on to National League and above. Sort of just describe your time sort of through that Billingham junior system, culminating in that sort of great season you had last year with 4 trophies.
Yeah, it was amazing at Billingham. We always had a strong team at our age group of juniors. Really loads of talented kids down there, and yeah, it was great. And then COVID sort of happened, and then we finally got into the first team, and we were a really young team, and we had a couple of older heads helping us out. And then I feel like this season it sort of clicked for us. The youth coming in and making an impact on the game, and the older heads still doing what they do every season. And yeah, we just had a great team, and we had a bit of luck, and thankfully all the trophies came out.
I think a lot of the Hull fans who were followed you, a little bit throughout there back in the last season, and particularly we got to see, I'm sure it was gutting, the game, in Coventry, but to have so many of the whole fans cheering on, lending the seats to Billingham fans, and they were so excited to see you and the guys, and they really sort of, took a liking to sort of your team and the way they played.
Yeah, it was class to hear. I remember being on the goal line and they were announcing each player out one by one, and my name got called out, and there was a big cheer from the whole block, and it was great to hear, and it definitely boosted me on for the game.
Obviously, Matty and Callum over in the corner of our little studio here, but you had very plush seats, I think, down at the Sky Dome. And do you manage to catch Tommy's game?
You know what? I didn't go back on the Sunday again this year, and I'm honestly a little bit gutted that I didn't. And I told Tommy I was going, so I feel bad about it. It was just the Saturday was honestly. I said this a little bit last year to someone. It was tough to watch, to be honest, especially obviously the first game, obviously the Peterborough game. That one was tough to watch, and obviously, look, fair play to the teams that got there, but when you're watching it and you sort of knew you were so close to getting there, yeah, it's obviously tough to take, but yeah, I mean the Leeds and MK game was great. I mean that was the game of the weekend from what I saw. And it just gives you a bit more fire to get back there and to get this team there, which is obviously the goal for us. But yeah, I am gutted I didn't watch Tommy. I messaged him before the game, said good luck, mate, and hopefully he goes and wins it. And yeah, he did it, and yeah, not surprised.
Obviously, sorry to throw it back over to you. Matt mentioned, obviously, so you have as well, the great season Billingham had last year, picking up, 4 of the possible 5, and got that taste for silverware now. It's sort of, what Matty and, everyone involved in the club is sort of striving for here in Hull, and sort of through, as you say, only 10 games last year, but did you sort of get that feeling that, it's a team on the edge of it, and there's that hunger for silverware?
Yeah, definitely. I think in my spells of the 10 games, you could see that we were a very good team, and we were dominating games at times. And yeah, you get that feeling around the dressing room that we're hungry for trophies, and that's a great thing. And it's great to come into a team where the main goal is to bring trophies home.
And I'm sure for everyone, Hull Seahawks fans watching, that sort of the attitude that they're going to want to see. It's what they've been sort of clinging on to and sort of hoping for the last couple of years. And with the changes that have been made for this summer, Matty, there's been a lot of talk about sort of the changes that we've made in particular, not just from Hull fans, from teams around the league as well. And sort of an opportunity now to sort of bring you in and sort of talk about the decision making and sort of looking ahead. I know we're not quite done with sort of recruitment, or at least announcing recruitment so far, but your talk on what's out there right now.
Yeah, look, I think obviously there's always going to be opinions about every team, and in a way it's great because that's what we want this league. We want people talking about it, and I find it funny as well, and great that people have an opinion on us like that. That it's going to be 13, 12 and all this malarkey and stuff. And I just think, just wait and see. I've said it to a few people. I know what I've got in that room. And I think, the whole thing about the D and the forwards and all that stuff. And all I can say is, look, I like I say, the lads that I've already got signed up, the 4D that I've already got, I don't see how anyone can see that them lads that are signed up are any worse than anyone's there in the league. For me, it's crazy to me. I mean, Tommy, I'm putting a lot of faith in Tommy, but I know he's elite already. He's got Dave there to help him and get his game to that level. We get Dave playing a full year, which I'm confident that'll happen. He had a tough year last year, a lot going on off the ice. Josh, we know what Josh can bring, and Stubbs right now, and we've got 3 more to go, and they're all good players. We'll have a strong decor, but the key for me again was just depth. Having the deepest team I can get. Like I've said to a few people, when you're in their end or you're forechecking on a team, you're not defending as much. It's quite often we've look, the way I want us to play is very like upbeat. It's aggressive. It's intense. We play, a tight gap game, and when you don't have the numbers and the legs in the team to do it, that often looks like you're quite bad defensively. When in the reality, it's probably it's not quite what people think. But look, again, everyone's got an opinion on it, and that's fine. We'll see. Like I say, I'm happy with the team that I think I've got, and I think we're going to surprise a lot of people with the defensive side of the game that everyone thinks that we're going to be so bad at.
So just to throw it back over to you, so just to round this off, we've seen a lot of the players. Callum's been showing them across the social media on the travels. So I know you're joining us on your holiday right now. What are you let us know what you're doing right now? What are your plans for your summer before you sort of head back to the rink?
So I'm just in Tenerife now with the missus, just for 10 nights. Just nice to chill out and catch a bit of sun, and then I'll be back home for about 4 days, and then going to Ibiza with a few of the lads, and then July we get back to get back to sort of getting ready for the season to come, and then into August, and then that's when sort of pre-season really starts, and into September ready for the league, and I can't wait.
So you're going to be travelling in then throughout the season. Obviously, Billingham. It's a good drive, isn't it? But it's not a well, it'll be up to you, maybe if you want to make the move. But you're going to be driving in.
Yeah. So I'll still be working and living in the northeast, but be traveling through the whole on a Thursday, and then on a Friday. Then when the season starts, staying over from a Friday to Sunday, and back to the northeast after the weekend.
And it's another big commitment for a guy, to making those journeys, staying over the full weekend, not seeing people at home because he wants to play here.
Yeah, it's like massive commitment, and like you say, great kid, Tommy. We do as much as we can to help him. And like I said, he's going to be a massive part of the team, and the lads will all have his back, and whatever he needs, we'll be here for him. But I just look. I think it's exciting, and I think we're obviously really happy that we've got Tommy. I think he's going to be a real surprise for people this year.
Final thoughts, Tommy. What are you most looking forward to for the season, and sort of hopes and aspirations for where we'll end up in April?
So I'm really looking forward to playing in the home rink. I think I only got 3 home games out of 10 last year. So looking forward to more home games and in a packed out rink, hopefully. And then aspirations, obviously, to win trophies, to win silver, and I think the fans deserve that. The players in the dressing room who have been there a long time deserve that, and obviously Matty deserves that as well.
Cheers, Tom. Good boy.
It's been great to have you on, Tommy. Thanks very much for joining us on your holidays as well, for taking a bit of time out.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
I say there is going to be more from behind the curtain over the next week or two throughout the off-season. Great to speak to the new guys and the old. And we'll have one of Tommy's partners in the decor joining us very, very soon. But do remember to like, share, subscribe, let everyone know about Behind the Curtain, and we'll see you all very, very soon.